Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment. So I am on my old laptop today as my previous laptop, my newer laptop, the laptop I normally use, had a little crack on the screen and the whole screen went dead. So I still have all the same equipment, same webcam, same microphone, just on an older laptop. So there's going to be a little more lag because this laptop is not nearly as quick as my newer one. So I apologize for that, but I should be back to 100% next week. Okay, so hopefully my laptop recovers from the damn coronavirus. But with that said, it is Thursday and it is time for Tighten Up Thursdays. Let me just real quick make sure that the audio sounds good on this new laptop, that it's not absolutely horrible. And it's all right. Okay, so we can do this. This isn't that bad. So it is Thursday. It is Tighten Up Thursdays here on Sports Fan Entertainment. So I don't have the setup, by the way. One thing that I was not able to convert was the live chat on the right side of the screen, but you still have the live chat replay. It's available in the YouTube app if you really want to see the live chat. As you can see, I have a Titans tapestry hanging on the wall. I have the blue lights on the wall. So, hey, maybe I should actually have this format sometimes. Maybe I should put the chat on this side because I like having that in the background. Not much Tennessee Titans news. I mean, this is the part of the offseason where there's not much news. It'll be even worse when we get into June and July. Although, actually, hell, we might have more news in June in July as we actually get started in the damn offseason. As right now, there are no OTAs going on. There are some team meetings going on, but that's about it. So there's no real news. There's going to be a little wave of free agency that happens when all this coronavirus nonsense clears up and some trips are able to be made, some workouts are able to be made. So not much in terms of real headlines, but I was able to scrape a few. So let's start with this. Logan Ryan appears as if he's close to signing with the New York Jets. We think, we don't know, we're not sure. But he had one interesting quote that I had to bring up. So basically, it was after the rookie numbers were announced, and we're going to get that into a moment, and Christian Fulton picked number 26. Logan Ryan then went to Instagram and had this whole long spiel of saying goodbye to the Tennessee Titans, and we're going to miss Logan Ryan. I mean, this was a guy that was a great cornerback for us, a guy that had the game-clinching interception against the New England Patriots for all intents and purposes at that point the game was over, and has been probably, debatably, arguably, our best corner over the past number of, I'll say, 3 seasons, right? Right there with Logan Ryan, certainly not Malcolm Butler. Butler hasn't been awful, but you would definitely argue either a Dorial Jackson or Logan Ryan. So Logan Ryan had this big, long spiel saying goodbye to the Tennessee Titans. It was great. It was beautiful. It was fantastic. But then he said something interesting, something that, I have to bring up. And he was speaking on Marcus Mariota. And he specifically said, and I quote, when Marcus Mariota became the backup quarterback in Tennessee, that he started killing us every week. Quote, he started killing us every week, referring to Marcus Mariota in practice. And another quote here saying, he started ripping us apart in practice. Marcus Mariota was the practice quarterback and he was destroying us and it made us better. Interesting. It's interesting to me. You guys know I'm still a Mariota stan here. Whenever these backup quarterbacks, a lot of them are used as, the scout team quarterbacks are used often in practice. So Mariota was able to actually see the defense a lot more. You would think the starting quarterback was in the defense more, but a lot of times the starting quarterback is off doing his own thing. So, for the Las Vegas Raiders fans out there, keep an eye on this. I'm very interested to see this. We also saw Jarrell Casey on, I want to say, Twitter. He posted the Denver Broncos schedule, and he said that he is very much looking forward to Week 1. For those of you who do not know what's going on Week 1, it is the Tennessee Titans versus the Denver Broncos. So, now there is no Raiders on the schedule, but there is the Denver Broncos. Jarrell Casey will be hosting us, and hopefully it's not too big of a host. So, we never cared about facing Zach Mettenberger, because first of all, there is no chance in hell we'd face Zach Mettenberger. When you're talking about the range of the Tennessee Titans from 2013 through 2015, you didn't care about any former Tennessee guy. You didn't care about facing Ryan Fitzpatrick. You didn't care about facing any random clown that happened to leave our team during that period of time. DGB. You didn't care about facing anyone. But the good thing is now we actually have players where they're leaving and you're like, damn, I kind of don't want to play them. that shows how much talent we do have on our roster. And some of them are going to, make an impact around this league and are going to hurt. Logan Ryan left the Patriots and was a solid contributor for us and hurt the Patriots down the road. This is something that we have to look out for. So I just wanted to mention that. So how about this? So Larry Warford, the right guard for the New Orleans Saints, was released. And this was particularly interesting for me as, I know they drafted Eric McCoy in last year's draft and Cesar Ruiz in this year's draft. And I think they re-signed their one offensive lineman, tackle/guard, Andres Pete. But Larry Warford has been consistently a good right guard for the Saints for years now. They just really want to, I guess, mold those young guards. And Eric McCoy can kind of play a little safety, but it should be not safety, center. But Larry Warford has been a consistently good guard in this league. Would you take a look at Larry Warford at right guard? Now, you cannot sign Larry Warford and Jadeveon Clowney. But if, let's say, you do not get Jadeveon Clowney, and you've already attributed and allotted $8, $9, $10, $11 million this year to sign a player like Jadeveon Clowney. Hell, actually, you'd have to have at least $10 million, probably. It depends on if you got him for a 2-3 year deal, but at the very least, $10 million of cap room you've already reserved for the potential of getting Jadeveon Clowney. So let's say you missed on Jadeveon Clowney. What are you going to do with that $10 million just for 1 year? And Larry Warford, maybe he's looking for a multi-year deal. But here's the thing when it comes to Larry Warford versus Nate Davis. We all agree that Larry Warford is better than Nate Davis. All of us agree on this. What we don't agree on is whether or not, and how much rope we should give to Nate Davis. Now, I think we all agree we should give him some rope, right? We should give him some time. How much time do we give him before we say, okay, he stinks? Because we've actually gone through this twice in the past 5 years with Jeremiah Putasi, Chance Warmack, and those are the main two that I look at. Even some other guards that we've had in, but those are the main two that I look at. And we looked at these guys, and they were Chance Warmack. Dude, this guy had way more potential than Nate Davis. My God! And then Jeremiah Putasi reminds me a lot of Nate Davis, unfortunately. So we waited and waited for these guys to prove to be something, and they never improved. Okay, and Chance Warmack's rookie season was better than Nate Davis's rookie season, period. If you ask me, I don't think it's very close. Chance Warmack showed way more potential than Nathaniel Davis. So we waited for Warmack, we waited for Putasi, neither one of them stepped up, neither one of them improved. Do we attack now and say, this guy is just not very good, man? I mean, because face it, he was ranked like 70 out of 80 guards in the NFL. He struggled. Now, he improved later in the season. So, he went from being absolutely god-awful, terrible, the worst guard in the league, to just being bad. So, I mean, that's an improvement. But is that enough of an improvement for you to say, no, we're good on Larry Warford? If you miss out on Jadeveon Clowney, I would want Larry Warford, to be quite honest with you. And I'd be okay with that. Now, it would suck because, that's more veteran money on the offensive line. Maybe you don't want more veteran money on the offensive line. But you have a rookie right tackle now. Ben Jones is coming up coming up and living in free agency soon. And I like Larry Warford long term more than Ben Jones. So maybe you get Warford and you say goodbye to Ben Jones next year. I would like that trade off. So I would look into it. I don't know if they will. I don't know if it's a real possibility, but I just want to throw it out there. And then finally, we have some rookie numbers that were announced this week. This isn't a big deal, but some people care about this. So you're looking at offensive tackle Isaiah Wilson, number 79. That's what he wore in college. Christian Fulton taking Logan Ryan's number 26. Darrington Evans taking number 32. Don't love that number. But, whenever you look at Derrick Henry 22 and Darrington Evanson's 32, it actually looks kind of good, just that comparison of the two numbers. So overall, I do like it when you compare those two. Laurel Murchison 91, fine. Cole McDonald had a farm, number 2, okay. And then, and he's been posting pictures of him in the jersey. He's been posting Photoshops. This guy is excited to be a Tennessee Titan. Now, you guys know I think he stinks. I think old McDonald had a farm stinks. But if this guy's excited to come in, hey, maybe he brings his blonde locks in here and does something. Hey, I can see everyone in the crowd having blonde locks on if this guy ends up being something. So I'd love to see it, but I'm going to have to see it. And then Chris Jackson, number 35. I still don't know who Chris Jackson is, to be honest with you, and most of you don't either. Okay, so with that said, hopefully, he's able to show us who he is. So with that, so we move on to the main topic of this video, and that is the top 5 breakout players for the Tennessee Titans in 2020. So, this is interesting. Okay, now this is a breakout, and I said sleeper in the title of this video. Look, these are not sleepers to Tennessee Titans fans. All Tennessee Titans fans know who these players are. However, the general fan, though, the casual fan, they don't know who these players are. So that's why I define them as sleepers, okay? As breakout sleepers to Titans fans, no. I mean, for Titans fans, I could have made a list that involved Nate Davis and Amani Hooker, who's an honorable mention, by the way, and we'll get to him in a moment. I could have mentioned Laurel Murchison, Chris Jackson, if I could ever find out anything about him. But, I wanted to expand a little bit and just show the general fan, some potential Pro Bowlers for them that they should actually look out for when it comes to the Tennessee Titans, because a lot of the general public don't know nothing about the Tennessee Titans. And then for Titans fans, it's just an opportunity for us to say, okay, let's rank these guys and see, okay, who do we think is most likely to break out and become that Pro Bowler? Because there's not a Pro Bowl appearance between any of these guys. So with that said, honorable mentions. Okay, so we have Jayon Brown as an honorable mention. Now, this is going to be controversial. A lot of people are going to have him in the top 5. And I want to understand why. I really do think he probably, in terms of just being most likely to be a Pro Bowler, yeah, he probably would deserve to be top 5. I just think he's already near his ceiling, which is pretty damn good. And he's already pretty damn good as is. So I don't think it would be as much of a leap as it would be for the other 5 guys on the list. And I don't know if he'd be a Pro Bowl inside linebacker. I don't know. It's so tough, because you're about to see, we do have a really strong top 5 here in terms of breakout candidates. So trust me, he really was on the edge. I just think that he's very good right now. I think I've seen all we're really going to get from him. He could make that step. I think the top 5 guys are more likely. So that's just why I didn't put him there. Amani Hooker. Okay, so this is what I look out for. And I would love for Amani Hooker to solidify himself as a strong safety on this football team. Nothing really against Kenny Vaccaro. He's fine. But we could use a little more juice there, a little more flavor there. And hell, he could come down and play slot corner, and he already does, Amani Hooker, a lot. Getting someone in the secondary that could be a Swiss Army knife, a guy that can really make an impact and a difference, because we don't really have someone like that right now. Now, Kevin Byard definitely makes an impact. And he is also decently versatile, but, just a guy that could be kind of all over the place for us. That's what we could really use in the secondary, as a lot of the guys on our secondary just play a role. And Kevin Byard plays his role, and his role is a field general. But, he's not great in coverage. He's all right. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad. And he's, pretty good against the run, but a guy that could do it all would be really appealing. So if Amani Hooker could take that next step, I'd love to see that. Just couldn't quite put him in the top 10 or top 5. Rookie class, the whole rookie class, I'm just going to put them all there pretty much, except for Chris Jackson, who I still don't know who he is. And then, except for also Cole McDonald. Cole McDonald ain't going to do nothing. And then Anthony Ferkser, this guy's been working out in the offseason. And if Jonnu Smith isn't able to take that next step, maybe look more for Ferkser in the receiving game. So Anthony Ferkser as well. So with that said, number 5, we have Harold Landry. Now, this is going to surprise a lot of you. Why is Harold Landry number 5? He should be number 1. He should be number 2. I think the top 4 on this list are more likely to make a leap than Harold Landry, because we did not get the compliment to Harold Landry that we needed. Now, Harold Landry is going to be, I think, a Pro Bowl pass rusher in this league eventually. But I don't think it's going to happen in this league yet, for this team yet, until we get the compliment that he needs. And that is going to be a big run-stuffing beast on the opposite side, who can also rush the pass rusher well. Jadeveon Clowney. Especially now also that Jurrell Casey's been taken out, because if you're trying to stop the Tennessee Titans front 7, look, you're going to look out for Jeffrey Simmons, who we're going to get into in a moment. But now the number 1 guy you're looking out for is Harold Landry. So now that Harold Landry is getting all the pass rush, protection, they're going to devote all the protection. The number 1 we're stopping Harold Landry. Is he going to break out now? I don't think so. Because I've seen him whenever he has to go up against all the double teams and whatnot. and all the attention the offenses give him from time to time, he struggles a bit because he doesn't have the natural strength to just overpower people. He does have a lot of skill to him, but his skill is best one-on-one. He can beat people one-on-one. So Harold Landry, number 5. But he will improve this season for sure, just not sure it's going to be a Pro Bowl week. Number 4, Jonnu Smith. That's right, Jonnu Smith comes in at number 4 for me. Now, Jonnu Smith and I, as a lot of you know, we have a love and a hate relationship, okay? He hates me, I hate him, and you guys love that, okay? No, I'm kidding. I did love Jonnu Smith his rookie season. His sophomore season, he was better. I still thought he had some issues, but his junior season, this past 2019 season, he really took a step forward. In the absence of Delanie Walker, this guy was stepping up, making plays. Now, I want to see him become a consistent route runner. I want to see him running that route tree consistently. The one thing right now at Jonnu Smith, look, if you get the ball in his hands, oh my goodness, he can run for 80 yards. But I want to see him running those crisp curls, those crisp comebacks, those crisp corner strikes. I want to see crisp route running be there when Ryan Tannehill expects you to be there. And I think we're going to see that as I hear that he and Ryan Tannehill have been working out consistently even in this coronavirus offseason. They're quarantining together. They're quarantining things. And apparently they're doing some things on the high school football field. So this is what I like to hear. So I think we're going to see a lot more. And then I look at Jonnu Smith, dude. This guy's a year older than me. He was born in August 1995. He's 24 years old. Still a lot of potential left to him. And this is heading into his 4th year. And this is a contract year for him. Can't wait to see what Jonnu Smith does this season. He could be a Pro Bowler. This could be a legitimate Pro Bowler. Now, there's a lot of AFC tight ends he's going to have to compete with. And a lot of them play for the damn Baltimore Ravens. But I think this guy could definitely enter the discussion. So number 4 is Jonnu Smith. All right, so with that said, number 3, Corey Davis. Yes, I'm still a Corey Davis stan. Okay, I'm sorry. You guys know me. I'm still going to stand for my boy Corey Davis. Now, the question is, why did this guy not produce the way we expected with Ryan Tannehill at the helm? Is it just because he wasn't getting open, or was it because Tannehill wasn't looking at him? I think Tannehill was just not looking at him enough. I looked at that on tape, and I'll probably have a video on that soon. But yes, Corey Davis is still getting open. He's still providing the run support, and he's motivated as the Tennessee Titans did not pick up his 5th-year option. This is now a contract year for him. And he knows if this guy could even put up like a 900-yard receiving season, he's going to be looking at $10 million plus a year. Okay? Adam Humphries is getting paid $9 million a year, and that was 2 years ago he signed that contract. So you know that, actually a year off season to go now, but it will be 2 years after whenever Corey Davis signs his next contract. So you know that this guy's looking at money. His money is definitely going to be coming his way if he can step up this season. So he's going to be asking for the ball a little bit. Now, hopefully he can keep his ego to the side, right? Hopefully his ego doesn't hurt the team. But with him asking for the ball more, being a little more assertive, that's what I expect wide receivers in their contract years. Look at Devontae Parker this past season. Man, this guy absolutely showed out. I'm looking out for Corey Davis this season. So Corey Davis, number 3. Number 2 is Jeffrey Simmons. All right, Big Jeff. And this is a guy that absolutely will break out. And we all know this, okay? Because now with Jarrell Casey not on the D-line, he's going to be in his, more natural position, or at least a position where, I'm not going to say more natural, because a lot of people think like, well, he's more natural 3-tech than a 5-tech. And maybe to a certain extent, but he can definitely excel as a 5-tech. However, he can make more plays as a 3-tech. I will grant that. So he will be making more plays at this 3-tech position, even without Jarrell Casey on the lineup, because the one thing I will say, although I think the absence of Dorial Casey hurts Harold Landry, I think it hurts Vic Beasley, I think it hurts mainly the pass rushers, I think Jeffrey Simmons is still going to eat anyway. I still think he's just going to get his. Okay, as long as you put a decent nose tackle, Daquan Jones next to him pretty much, he going to eat. That's going to be enough, because Daquan Jones can fill some space, and then Jeffrey Simmons can get in there, and that's what we need to see. Now, again, I won't expect like 8, 9, 10 sacks. 6 or 7, we could see it. 6 or 7 would be fantastic. Accumulated with a bunch of tackles for losses and a bunch of run stuffs. I would love to see that. Jeffrey Simmons, number 2. Can't wait to see what Big Jeff does this season. But number 1 is the guy that I was so mad when the Tennessee Titans drafted, and that is Dorial Jackson. That is right, Dorial Jackson is number 1 on this list. Now the absence of Logan Ryan, I told you. Dorial Jackson and Logan Ryan had been the best corners for the Tennessee Titans over the past 3 seasons, but now there's only one man on that list, and his name is Dorial Jackson. And I believe that Christian Fulton is going to come in, and he's going to make an impact for us, and he's going to be all right, maybe even pretty good, maybe pretty damn good, right off of the bat. However, it's going to be to Dorial Jackson to cover the number 1 wide receivers pretty consistently. I'm sure Malcolm Butler will have his say-so. Every now and then we'll get some coverage as well. But it's going to be up to Dorial Jackson. Now, they picked up his 5th-year option, so this is not a contract year for him. However, we have not seen the Dorial Jackson that was the total ball hawk he was at USC. Only 2 interceptions in his career, and both of them came last season. In the 2018 season, none in 2019, none in his rookie season in 2017. I think this is the year we start to see that ball hawking Dorial Jackson, and he's able to step up to the plate, and he could solidify himself as a Pro Bowl cornerback in this league. So there you go. That is my top 5 Tennessee Titans players most likely to break out in 2020. So there's not much to really talk about this week, so we're not going to do a live chat and discussion this week, especially since I don't have the chat up. But next week, hopefully I have my laptop back, I have the chat up, and we're able to do that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.